It's an annual tradition. Every year, I share some of the most creative fundraising ideas I see out there in the wild based on current trends in nonprofits and culture. So I am excited to kick off 2025 with you with this year's list of the top most creative fundraising ideas I've seen. This year, fundraising trends are all about doing things a little bit differently. It's about focusing on connection and community because we all need a little bit of that right now. And because when people feel connected to something, hopefully your nonprofit or your cause, they're also more likely to donate too. So here we go for 8 ideas for fundraising or fundraiser events in 2025. I'm Amber Melanie Smith, nonprofit founder, social entrepreneur, social impact YouTuber, etc. Don't forget to check out my website, Changemaker Cafe, where we've got more resources for you in nonprofits and social impact and fundraising and all that good stuff. Let's dive right into those 8 ideas. Idea number 1 is a take on your classic auction, and it is a professional services auction. Here's how it works. Simply, you get businesses to donate special services to the auction, and then people or even other businesses can bid on those services with all the proceeds benefiting your nonprofit. You can use an online auction platform to showcase these items and collect bids just like you would with any other kind of auction. And of course, this works because people are always in need of services, especially for their own small businesses or institutions or workplace. Now, if you're wondering what kinds of services might appear in your auction, what businesses might donate, here are just a couple of examples to get the wheels turning. A social media firm could donate a social media consultation session. A web design firm could donate, you guessed it, a free website design. I've even seen a professional chef donate a dinner party, which was super cool. Quick tip on this one, when asking businesses to donate a service or when they make that donation, don't forget to ask them for the market value of that donation. In other words, what someone would have had to pay for that service had they bought it in the marketplace as normal. You're going to need this information to set your starting bid and of course for tax purposes later. The second fundraiser idea for 2025 is maybe one of my favorites, and it's a take on recurring giving. It is a coffee and conversations club. And of course you can replace coffee with your beverage of choice. Here's the deal. We are facing a loneliness and isolation epidemic right now, especially in the United States, but across the world, people are feeling disconnected. And when people think of where they might want to give their support, whether it's financial or their volunteer time, they're thinking of the places where they feel like they most belong and where they feel connected. So how can we capture the essence of this need and this desire and help people feel that sense of community while contributing to your cause? The answer, of course, is a coffee and conversation club. So here's how it works. You ask donors to contribute a monthly or recurring gift, just like normal, but when they do, they become part of the Coffee and Conversations Club. You're going to set up a super casual event at your favorite coffee shop or beverage establishment, and you're going to just have conversations. I know it sounds really simple, but this is what people are looking for. They want to make connections, they want to build friendships, and the conversations can be hosted by your awesome dedicated volunteers, which makes it highly scalable because let's say you can only accommodate 10 to 15 people in one location at one time and you have one conversation host volunteer at that one location. Well, you can scale that up by adding more locations, more times, and more host volunteers. So really the possibilities are endless here. What do you talk about during these conversations? Your cause, of course, things related to the issue that you are tackling. If you are tackling food insecurity, you can talk about the underlying issues, what people think, what barriers they see in the community to combating hunger. And who knows, maybe these coffee and conversation club members even get a super cool mug, not unlike this one. Idea number 3 is, let's call it a tipping point or pledge style fundraiser. And what this basically is think of Kickstarter, right? Everyone pledges a certain dollar amount towards an ultimate goal, but they don't have to actually charge their card or give you the money unless you reach the entire goal, unless they get X number of other people to donate the same amount. So let's say I pledged $25, but I don't actually have to pay up unless the organizer succeeds in recruiting 99 other people to also pledge $25. And of course, donors are also encouraged to go invite their friends to pledge too, because at the end of the day, we're all doing this in good fun, good faith, and we want the organization to succeed. Now, I know what you're thinking, Amber, this sounds like a terrifying fundraiser idea. What if we don't meet our goal? Before you skip out on this idea out of anxiety, let's review a little bit about donor psychology. This idea plays on the idea of social proof. In other words, people want to be involved in things that other people are also involved in. People also really love donating when there's some momentum behind the campaign. No one wants to be the first person to donate because then it feels like, well, this will probably be a flop. I'm only one person donating, so why bother? Here's what you do to combat that mentality. You start out, before you publicly announce the campaign, with a small group of people who've already dedicated to pledge some money. Probably and hopefully your board of directors at your nonprofit. If you can get 10 to 20 people to kind of seed the pot, as they say, then you're going to start out with some momentum that people are excited to jump in on. But then after you publicly launch the campaign, you are regularly updating your audience on the progress. Oh, we just hit 30 people, we just hit 40 people, we just hit 50 people, we are over halfway to our goal. It really gets that excitement going. And talk about the idea using the example of having to get 100 people to pledge. How exciting is it to think of the fact that as a donor, one donor, my gift is almost, it's like it's being multiplied by 100 if the nonprofit hits the goal. And if you're worried about holding people accountable after they've made a pledge, you can always use software or some solutions that take credit card information upfront, but promise not to charge the card until the goal is met. The 4th fundraiser idea is really a sign of the times. I don't know if you've seen the headlines, but parents are tired. So what if you could give parents a break and raise money for your cause at the same time? So this is the Parents' Night Off fundraiser idea. It's not just babysitting, it's extreme babysitting. Okay, but to make this fundraiser be a good return on investment for your nonprofit, you can't be having hundreds of babysitters spread out across your whole city. No, you need to do this in one location. Maybe you find a school or a place of faith or someone who has a large building that would be willing to let you use the space for one magical night for parents. So you pick your night, you plan some fun activities for the kiddos, you line up all your babysitters, you get those waivers in order, etc. And then the parents can drop off the kids at this one location for this special evening and then go have themselves some fun. Or maybe they even go back home and watch something on Netflix. And of course, it's a fundraiser because parents are donating to your nonprofit in order to have this special night. You might even sweeten the pot by partnering with local restaurants to offer discounts or gift cards or something for parents who are participating. Now that would be pretty cool. Now, whatever fundraising ideas you try, you're gonna need a fundraising platform that can collect donations and power your efforts, like this video's sponsor, Click and Pledge. Click and Pledge is a comprehensive fundraising platform perfect for nonprofits ready to raise money and grow. Their robust fundraising features would let you try out so many of the ideas that we're talking about in today's video, and they include things like text to give or peer-to-peer fundraising, where you can empower your supporters to go out there and fundraise from their networks for your cause. Video fundraising with donation links embedded right in the video so you can allow your donors to click right on the video to make their donation. Personalized donor thank you videos and messages so you can inspire your donors to keep coming back. A complete Salesforce integration and other integrations too, and lots more. I've seen it time and time again. Some fundraising platforms charge based on how big your organization grows, but Click and Pledge, their fee stays the same no matter what size your organization is. That way your donor list can increase without your costs. Plus, all of their features come as part of that flat rate, and there are no contracts. You can learn more about Click and Pledge's fundraising solutions using the links below this video, or scan this QR code here on screen to go ahead and get your first month free. Thanks again to Click and Pledge for sponsoring this video. All right, let's get into idea number 5, which is adopt a volunteer. Aww. This is basically like a fresh take on peer-to-peer fundraising. And here's how it works. You're gonna have a group of willing volunteers sign up to be the volunteers that can be adopted. And each of them is gonna have a fundraising goal. Perhaps it's even the same goal across all volunteers. So you can adopt a volunteer for $100 donation or $200 or whatever the amount is that matches your goal and your volunteer's capacity and interest in fundraising. What I like about this is it allows for a personal human-to-human connection between one of your volunteers and a potential donor. Because in order to adopt the volunteer, someone's going to have to donate, and then they will in exchange receive a lovely personalized message, or maybe even something special like, I don't know, a custom drawing or little poem or something just from your volunteer. It's super simple, but like I said, what I really like about it is it taps into this idea of community connection. Plus, sometimes during fundraising campaigns, we in the nonprofit world have the tendency to have the main voice, our leaders, our CEO, our founder, our board chair, etc., be the top voice sending out messaging for fundraising. But what if we could flip the script and have our lovely volunteers participate in getting that messaging out too? Idea number 6 is donate a birthday. This is another simple idea, this time inspired by campaigns run by groups like Charity Water and other nonprofits. For this campaign, you're simply going to invite your supporters to ask their friends to donate to your nonprofit in lieu of birthday gifts, or maybe in addition to birthday gifts. It's also a great idea for kids to lead campaigns like this. Now, how can you entice your supporters to do something like this? You got to make it easy for them. So what I recommend doing is providing a birthday fundraiser toolkit where you have it available on your website. They can download graphics, example language, an explanation of how funds raised will help your nonprofit, maybe some fun little things like, I don't know, a picture of a birthday cake with their face on it. I don't know, something cool that makes it fun to participate in, but also super easy. They don't have to think too hard about how they're going to approach asking their friends and connections for funding. Idea number 7 is to host your own TED style talks. People love learning things, especially learning things together. So for this is a fundraiser event idea where you would invite community experts, leaders, people with lived experience, all related to the issue that your nonprofit tackles. And they're gonna give short, educational, and hopefully entertaining lightning talks as part of the event. And then of course, it's fundraiser because you're charging for tickets, admission, and you could also do sponsorships with an event like this, or just straight up ask for people to donate while they're there or before too. So what are these talks about? Well, let's use an example. If your nonprofit tackles hunger in your city, a couple of potential talk ideas could include the impact of hunger on learning in the classroom. Maybe you got some artistic or poetic rendition of a description of what it feels like to be extremely hungry, or maybe you've got someone talking about the long-term effects of food insecurity on the mental health of a community. There are all sorts of angles you could tackle this through. Quick tip for this one, you might consider seeing if you have a speaking coach available in your community who would be willing to donate their services to help your speakers get really polished for the big night. And our 8th and final creative fundraising idea for 2025 is a community movie night. Again, this is a fundraiser event idea, and it's very simple. You would partner with a movie theater, rent it out. Lots of theaters will allow you to rent out the space for a nonprofit or a special event. You rent it out and you sell tickets to come all together and watch some kind of movie related to the issue that you tackle as a nonprofit. There are so many documentaries out there on all sorts of topics, and if not a documentary, movies that help people think about your cause also. Quick tip for extra value on this one, you might consider including a discussion component. People love to talk about what they thought about the movie or documentary afterwards and some of their lingering questions. This is another great way to be building community and connection during your fundraiser. There you have it, 8 fundraiser ideas for 2025 inspired by major global themes of community and connection. I'm sure there are another batch of amazing ideas out there. I'd love to hear some of your ideas. Share in the comments below. Once again, don't forget to check out my website, changemakercafe.com, where you can get all sorts of resources, including information about my Changemaker Accelerator membership, where we have folks coming in and joining and building their nonprofits alongside each other. It's a good time. Hope you can join us there. And yeah, I'm Amber Melanie Smith, social impact YouTuber, nonprofit founder, social entrepreneur, and I'll see you next time. Bye.